Hey y'all, so I haven't done a vlog in a while, and so this has sort of been on my mind, and I've decided it's time to sit down and sort of talk about this one a little bit. And it's actually the mantra of my mostly defunct blog, but there it is anyway, which is that health is a social problem, not a technical one. It will be resolved socially and politically or not at all. And I think about this one a lot. I've actually written some things here or there on it. But I wanted to unpack it a little bit because I can see a lot of people saying, well, what do you mean by that health is a social problem, not a technical one? Because surely we can use technical interventions in the name of population health. And when I say population health, I'm always thinking about the twin aims, which is improving overall population health and compressing health inequalities. Those are two things I always want to sort of us to be focused on. I think that's ethically optimal public health policies. I've written about that in case anyone's interested in. And I think that that's true. Of course, there are technical interventions that are salubrious for population health. And so what does it mean to say that it's not a technical problem, it's a social one? I think the issue is we have to think carefully about means and ends. So we can use technology and technical solutions or technical interventions in the service of correcting our health problems, in the service of improving absolute population health and compressing health inequalities. Of course, we can use it for those ends. I think there's a couple things we need to distinguish here. First of all, not all technologies and techniques are created equal. As it turns out, there are technical interventions that have a substantial impact on those twin aims of population health, but they are almost exclusively the ones that we sort of fall in the realm of public health. So we're talking about things like sanitation or key infrastructure like bridges and dams and things like that. Those are the ones that really have a dramatic impact on population health. As we get closer to point of care and healthcare delivery, the evidence suggests that most of the impact on population health tends to diminish. So technical interventions that are set proximal to or subsequent to the onset of disease tend to be far less effective in improving overall population health than those that are geared more towards the social and economic conditions in which we live, work, and play. So that's part of it. One, we have to be careful to distinguish what kinds of techniques and technologies are we talking about. And then I think the other thing is to think about, well, what's the end? Is the end actually population health, or is the end actually technology? And here's where we have to introduce a concept called the technological imperative. And what's the technological imperative? It's basically the pursuit of the shiny for its own sake. It's the use of technology and the pursuit particularly of health and healthcare technologies just for the sake of making newer and better health and healthcare technologies. There's a great editorial I once read that was talking about this in context of pharmaceuticals, and it said, new and approved does not mean new and improved. And part of the problem is, and I actually use this slide when I teach, is that, we're a bit like Gollum in the United States. We loves our healthcare technologies. It's the precious, right? We loves it, we wants it, we needs it, it's ours, basically. And of course, the problem is that when we start pursuing those ends for their own sake, unmoored or untethered to any need to actually discover or prove that it actually is salubrious and beneficial to those twin aims of population health, it runs amok. And there's very good evidence that that's exactly what's happened in the U.S. and other places too, but certainly in the U.S. because we really love the shiny here, right? I say it's not an accident that Apple's an American company. At least it was founded in the U.S., right? So I think that's the idea. It's not that we can't harness technical interventions in the service of health, but it's that we have to understand health as a social problem. Health is not a technical problem. We are not going to fix our problems with technical solutions. And when those technical solutions become ends in and of themselves, we are basically falling prey to the technological imperative. And I think the evidence is very poor that basically just following the technological imperative is going to have a substantial impact either in improving overall population health or in compressing health inequality. So that's what I mean when I say health is a social problem. It's not that we can't do technical interventions. We can, although we have to prioritize our technical interventions because some of them are much more likely to have an impact on the structures that are most determinative of population health and its distribution, health and its distribution in human population. So we have to distinguish what kinds of techniques and technologies we're talking about. And then we also have to harness it to the end of health. Health is the goal. The goal is not technology. The goal is not technique. The goal is health, right? And I think sometimes when we start talking about the shiny, we tend to forget that. And so that's what I mean when I say health is a social problem, not a technical one. Comments and feedback always welcome. Thanks.